Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth and we are going to continue the quest that we picked up here in Melionin. So we have to go find panels or flat table-like stones. We also have to find a whole bunch of orcs and kill them and gather their poison pouches. Oh, there. I wonder if this orc counts. Oh, it counts for something. Okay, very good. Excuse me. You're being evicted. We don't want you here. Let's see. We've already done the flies. Marsh striders. We got an orc over here taking a pee in the water. Alright, so where are we headed? I think we're going the wrong way. Okay. That's okay. We found plenty of orcs to kill so far. Lots and lots and lots of orcs. It is not a good thing. Excuse me, what are you doing here? Oh, we have something over here. Ah, here. And there's our flat stone. Alright, so while we're over here, we have some ruins. And of course, we must go investigate the ruins. Well, that reflection. And this is Marinost. Okay. We need to... Ah! This is where we need to gather our poison pouches. Okay. Gather round. I'd like to talk to you. Okay. Oh, there's a defiler up here. Hi, I'd like to talk to you. I hear you've been doing bad things. And we have a foot. We don't want that. We can't use that. The face of this monument is marred by what appears to be large tooth marks, as if several man-like creatures decided to gnaw upon the stone. Though most of the writing has been destroyed, you can discern the words As Arduin at the top of the monument, and at the bottom the phrase that we might retreat from our cares and take solace in such beauty. So we have found the fourth founding stone of the area, and the last one we won't find until a little later. I know exactly where it is though. And I think we are done killing orcs for the moment. So the only thing left we have to do is find the other two canals. And I see one up ahead. Because you see our bog guardians. I don't know. Sorry, I don't speak your language. The bog guardians appear uninterested in the rune. Oh boy. That might not be a good thing. We're going to swim across the water. Alright, so where is the last one? Jump, swim, jump, swim. I think I see some gold up ahead. I do. I will have to go grab that gold. We'll grab the gold first. Gold, yes please. Cannot make jewelry without gold. Okay. I have no idea how much gold I just got from that. Two chunks of gold, which makes one ingot. Which is a little better than New World's ratio. It takes 4 chunks of ore in New World to make an ingot, but at the same time you get a lot more ore out of a deposit too, so I guess it evens out. Alright, so now we've done all the things that we've been asked to do. Now let's go back and talk to the people, or elves. Bet you this was a pretty place at one time. It also is indicative of elven architecture, because if you, once we get out to, where is it? Ingris, Ekadenon, Aragion, we'll find other such similar structures. Right, nobody here to talk to. Nobody here to talk to. That's just the stable master. Medlichin. You have placed the kennel. This is well, though it seems the bog guardians have chosen not to come to our aid. I suppose I was too eager for the old friendship between elves and bog guardians to be rekindled, that I was hopeful to the point of blindness. Only disappointment can come of... Wait, what is that? Look, a bog guardian has come, and more. I shamed myself with despair, but now I see that it is never wrong to hope. You have my thanks. And here comes some bog guardians to help defend the area from bad guys. Not many of them, but enough for a good start. And then they go run off into... I'm assuming they're running off into the swamp to help kill things. Neat! They have come to help us. Very nice. The venom pouches, I take it that the defiler was slain as well. Many lives will be saved through your efforts. I find it strange that the Orcs would hunt their spider allies. They make themselves stronger at others' expenses, and in the end, weakening the enemy as a whole. Such is the way of evil things, for the spiders would not hesitate to drink of the blood of their orcish fellows. And we have her to talk to. You have done well. I hope your efforts will serve as a warning to the Ongburs. They are not welcome in Melunan, nor ever will be. The company of elves may only be temporary stewards of Lingaloth, but we shall oppose them as surely as Lynchen would, were he still alive. I guess she doesn't have anything else for us. What is this one? Oh, okay. That is the stone, which we don't need. So before we leave, did we do everything? He doesn't have anything for us right now. Very pretty little place in here. A little empty. Perhaps it's supposed to be a library or a meeting room. I don't know. And of course, there are certainly other such places here that we cannot enter. Because it has 3 little towers. So maybe these towers were supposed to be like the sleeping quarters. And then this was the main area where everything else was done. Don't see anything else so far. Oh, nothing there. Nothing there. Are we done here? Make sure we didn't get anything, any strange items to start quests. No, we didn't. Oh, I spoke too soon. There's a ring. The stolen ornament and the wayward companion. I have heard whispers among the trees of a stone troll chieftain of great size, called by others Gurgmagarth. This Gurgmagarth has in his great fist a sparkling ornament that once belonged to poor Lachin. The wretched creature cannot be permitted to keep Lachin's ornament. Seek out this Gurgmagarth and wrest Lachin's ornament from him, so it may be kept in Lingalath in a place of honor. When we arrived here, there was much debate concerning what should be done about the stone trolls, and many thought as I did that they should be driven from their fastness in Torgonwaith. There was some of us, among them Aglodir and Gildor, who counselled restraint. I regret the stern words I had for them, but at the time their plan to rebuild the place seemed to do Lachin's memory a disservice. My friend Lagolin believed as I, and journeyed forth to slay the stone trolls, but he has not returned. It would put my mind at ease if you could find him. Look for him in the forest of Torgonwaith to the southeast. All right. So apparently we're being sent to look for some trolls now. And let's make sure we don't miss anything. Stable masters almost never have quests. I don't know why I keep looking over there. I really don't want to go out there and then find out that I missed another quest that goes out there. It would kind of suck. Do I have anything to sell? Probably. I did just kill some orcs. Not too much stuff, though. It looks like that was about it. We have almost 300 gold. That's always nice. Oh, see what I mean. Northmen have been seen carrying chests laden with weapons into a cave in the south. While the others dwell upon the malefactions of the trolls, I am concerned by the very presence of men from Angmar, not to mention their arms. Every sword hilt we remove from the grasp of an Angmarm is one fewer blade that may be brought to bear against the free people. Seek out weapon chests in the troll cave and bring them to me. I shall destroy the foul blades. If even one of the blades we seize would have otherwise slain an innocent, I shall count this day's labor worth the toll. So she wants me to collect weapons. And nope. 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 And this is one of the downsides of out-leveling quest chains, because it makes it a lot harder to find potential quest rings, as they no longer show up on the map. And of course, they're almost impossible to see because they're this pale gray. Wish they, even if I had out-leveled a quest chain, I could still somewhat see the rings a little better than what they are. Alright, so we have 3 quests that are going to take us into the heart of trolls. And, of course, that's always fun. And look, these bog guardians are slacking on the job here. They're just letting this fly around, do its thing. Of course, then, what am I saying? So am I. And, of course, there's the art camp that we were just at. Oh, okay. Get up there. What's this? A marsh spider? Marsh snake. Okay. Alright, so we are in Targon Way. And where we headed? Guess this way? Oh, and look, we have some trolls. Excuse me, but I'm sorry nobody wants you here. Oh, and it gives me a quest. A number of trolls roam the woods of Targon Waith. These are dangerous and evil creatures, servants of the enemy. Who has roused them from the deep caves in which they slumber? And how many do I have to kill? I think it said 10. Oh, that's easy. Of course, they are deed, so. You see, I'm pretty sure they are. Yes, they are deed. Alright. And this is definitely a good place if you wanted to do the Troll Slayer deed for the LP. It actually is a good place to do it. Because by the time you do a full loop of trolls in the area, they've already respawned again. And they have blessedly made this deed much easier by lowering the number greatly. Alright, so you have defeated a number of menacing deadly trolls in the woods of Targon Waith. Now we need to find Lagerlin. Excuse me. Yeah, take a bath. You smell bad. That reminds me. If you really wanted to insult a dwarf, just tell them their mom was a troll. Or better yet, that their mom was an orc. And we have found Lagerlin. I am not badly hurt. I just need a moment to rest. Oh, it's a escort quest. Always love these. I am pleased to see a face that does not belong to a troll. I came to Torgon Waith to seek vengeance on the trolls that attacked the glade of Lingalath and murdered my fair friend Lachin. I can tell you that many of the stone trolls that attacked Lingalath will never again leave this place. They proved a challenge, and that one was about to squash me when you arrived. You have my thanks. Let us leave this place, friend, so I might return to Lingalath and tell my friend Balalang the course of my vengeance. Alright, so I guess let's go. Perhaps we'll find a few more trolls along the way. You don't think? Some reason I feel like I should follow him all the way back to Lingalath and see if anything else pops up from his return. I appear haggard? Excuse me? We didn't do anything but run a couple of feet. You have escorted Lagerlam to safety. Okay. So, we're gonna run back. Because I just want to make sure nothing else is going to pop up in here. And you know what? I'm going to get on my horse. Because we want to get this done a little faster. Oh, green onion. Yes, please. Alright, so who am I talking to? This guy here who sent me after all the other stuff.
How can I get some?
You survived the journey to Torgon Waith and lent your strength to Lagerlorn. He has already spoken to me of what transpired. I'm grateful that you were able to find him, though he insists he could have returned to Lingalath without any aid. And because your friend's an idiot.
Why don't you spare a moment to give time?
Far to the north and east, the Dunedain of the north have established a hidden encampment which they call Esteldin. These men do their best to fight threats to the North Downs, but their number are now too few and the dangers too great. If you are willing to go, I would have you complete the original mission of our company. Go to Esteldin and speak with the watch captain Dagoras. Tell him that the Nine are abroad and have crossed the river. The enemy is on the move. Esteldin is hidden in the mountain on the border of the Kingsfell and Nam Lug. Take this message. That should not be delayed. Okay, so it's going to be delayed because we are not done here. So far it looks like the only new quest that just popped up was for Esteldin, but it did not take us but hardly any time to come check. And now we can go back and beat up some more trolls and try to locate weapon caches, and I guess a very special ornament that used to belong to Lichen. Alright. That's a warg, which means we are not going in quite the right direction. That's okay. I've discovered Dol Nindir. Okay. Didn't know I was looking for it. Good to know. If I discovered it, that means it must have been part of something. Alright, so we are back with the trolls. We're going to slide down. Grab this. Alright, so now if I remember right, this is a tiny bit on the mazy side. Not too bad, but still. Might take me a minute to find what we're looking for. In the meantime, we could kill a bunch of trolls. Great fun. We're troll hunting. Oh, I don't think there's anything else up here. Oh, no, there's another path up. Okay. At least I think there is. We need to go a little back a little ways to go up. Are we? Oh, nope. Okay. Like I said, a little bit mazy. Not the most horrible maze ever, but we're... And it looks like our friend is back out here getting attacked by trolls again. Uh-huh. And I've already completed Troll Slayer, so yay. Now you can imagine how much harder this is at level. This is definitely one of those places if you don't want to take hours just killing trolls. You bring a friend along. So we have to find a way up there. We also need to stop for the gold. Because of course we do. And I think maybe we go that way. Ugly things, aren't they? And we have found Grimgath. Gurmagath. Haha. So I've collected the broken ornament and let's see. So the only other thing I have is to find this cave. Which is supposed to be in this direction somewhere. For some reason, I thought for sure the cave was in the same place as Gurmagath. I was gravely mistaken. Oh, excuse me. This rich iron deposit is hiding inside the hill. That usually happens when they make changes to the landscape and yet forget to make changes to make changes to the landscape, but forget to make changes to the material deposits or the scatter, because every once in a while you'll see a plant floating in the air. Okay, so we have found our oh, and it isn't even in the cave. I thought it was. Okay. And we have a hillman here. I believe hillmen aren't a deed, but they are a class deed, a race deed. So if you kill a certain number of them, you get enmity of the hillman. 1, 2, and 3, I think. It's the last one, which gives you some little boost to certain like skills and Cannot remember what Enmity of the Hillman does exactly. But we will see plenty of Hillmen from this point on. Definitely see them in Angmar. So we need 3 more of these chests. There's 1. There's 2. There's a brigand corpse. Probably shouldn't have messed with it. Anybody coming from Angmar. They really don't like to be double-crossed. And now we're done. And we can head out this way. Yeah. Right, and my cat is going absolutely nuts and attacking the wall. Which usually she only does when we're playing with the laser dot. Alright, so let's get on our horse now. Well, that was easy enough. Like I said, much more of a challenge when it's at level. And a lot of fun, too. At least I think it's a lot of fun. Well, at some point, we are going to get to where the quests are closer to level. Wow, a couple of woad plants. Excuse me, I have returned. Who am I talking to first? We're going to talk to her first. These weapons are poorly made, and none of them exhibit the care needed to make a truly fine sword. I'm not surprised by the lack of craftsmanship, for the Angmorum care little about such things, and these blades are as effective as they need to be to slay the innocent people who were their intended prey. You have done well to bring me these weapons. I will destroy them, and by doing so, I hope we will have together saved some lives. You have my thanks for this errand. So, make sure nothing else here, nothing else here. Nope, nothing there.
What can I do?
This is Lachin's ornament. It's truly a shame that it has been broken by the Gurmageth's brutish fingers. There is something odd about these markings on the back of the ornament. These scratches almost look to form letters A, N, G. The rest is broken off, but I believe I know what it would say. Probably Angmar. There's probably a warning that the Orcs are working with Angmar, which would make sense. We didn't even have to go in the troll cave. I thought for sure. Nope. Looks like we won't have to go in that cave after all. At least not for the quest. I mean, you don't... Nobody else sees any rings, do they? I definitely don't see any. And I know it's in there somewhere, but I don't think we want to spend 20 minutes in the dark fumbling around just to find a cave. Maybe some other quests will lead us into there too. We have this quest we could turn in, this quest we could turn in, this quest we can turn in, this quest we can turn in. This goes to Oatbarton, which we don't need to do right now. That is... Oatbarton is technically the very beginning of Elrond, which we could also do right now. It's... I think we've also overleveled that one. And we'll see how we feel after we finish in the North Downs. Perhaps instead of going straight to Trollshaw's, we'll swing by Oatbarton. Although I'm pretty sure at some point the epic does run by Rivendell. At least I do recall a quest where you talk to Aragorn in Rivendell, and he sends you to Rivendell. We'll see. We'll see what we do when we're done here. How many quests do we have on the books now? 23. At least 4 of them we're getting ready to turn in. And this one is another one in Rivendell. Oh, and this is another one. So we have a full 5 that are ready to turn in at Esteldin. Very good. Very handy when you have a whole bunch to turn in at once, even if you're not getting XP for it. And this place is massive. I mean, look how massive. That was just the entrance. So at one point, this was a well-fortified place. There's Dagoras, which 3 of the quests belong strictly to him. Well done. If only there were more of us in Esteldin, we rangers could deal with such creatures ourselves. But all our attention is, by necessity, consumed by the Orc army. Your work is allowing us to gather our forces to deal with the greater threat. Okay, so we may not be getting XP, but we're definitely getting reputation, so that's always good.
What's your name?
You have done well. The death of the Spider Queen should throw the entire lair into disarray.
How can I be of service?
The 9 are abroad after all this time. This is fell news, for it can only mean one thing. The ring of the enemy has been found. We can only hope that the enemy himself has not already reclaimed it, or the world as we know it is at an end. I think that if this were so, our chieftain Aragorn, or Elrond Half-elven, would have sent word. Thank you. I will deliver this news to Halbarad, our steward, in the absence of Aragorn. Of course, I could do that. Have to go see him anyway. Just saying. Now, who am I bringing gems to? Oh, this gentleman here. Indeed, these are the gems. Thank you so much for your help. I must give you a small reward for your courage. Alright, so that's 4 down. And we have dropped the number of quests we have open to 19.
Could I speak with you a moment?
I hear that Esteldin is looking for aid with a task. Will you speak with her? She can generally be found further within Esteldin. Of course. And we have a pretty meh selection for this month. So if you actually wanted to see, you can actually, is it, yeah. So if you just right click on the mannequin, it'll actually give you a preview of whatever the outfit looks like on you. And meh. Ew. Meh. But the only thing I like about that is the headpiece. Meh. Okay. So yeah. And the selection for this month for the mannequins is generally meh. Oh, and we do have a task board here in Esteldin, which you can see has a large list of things we could turn in. But I do think we're doing pretty good on reputation so far. So Rangers of Esteldin, we are a little more in the halfway through friend. And we have quite a number of things we can still do. So not overly concerned with the task board yet. We also have these, which are bounty type quests. So if you click on it, orcs have begun to increase in number and move northward, becoming a terrible threat to the people of Eriador. Any who could make forays against their camps around the lakes in the southern plains will discourage these foes from spreading further. The kindred of rangers are stretched thin across the North Downs and beyond on missions of great import and are unable to deal with this threat. Whoever completes the quest shall be rewarded. So you says defeat 15 orcs. You get 25 silver and 900 rep. We'll take that. We'll probably end up killing some orcs. And pretty similar, wargs, the hounds of the enemy, prowl the foothills and eastern plains of Nanam Lug and Ruanlad, threatening inhabitants and travelers alike. So, same deal. If you kill a number of them, you get a little bit of coin and reputation. We'll take that one too. Pretty sure we'll kill at least 15 wargs. Spiders, which I wish I had remembered. We could have done that when we were doing the other spider stuff. And this last one is a little tougher. The orcs in the ravaged lands of Dol Denon have become bold, pillaging much further north, where they hold no lands. Whoever is bold enough to bring the battle back to their camp and recover the helms of their victims shall be rewarded. The orcs of the ravaged land are not to be counted lightly. So this actually requires going into Dol Denon and killing orcs and collecting helms of the fallen. So I'm pretty sure we don't aggro anything in Dol Denon either. We'll go ahead and grab it because there's actually a number of quests that show up there. And they can be rather fun, even if you're a little over level. Of course, I'm pretty sure I'm a lot over level at this point, but whatever. Estuian. I have a favor to ask of you. Just east from Esteldin and to the north along the base of the hills surrounding the hidden fort, you will find an Earthkin camp. The dungeons there are of the Suri Lemma tribe, our friends. We must make sure they know of our effort on their behalf. Will you take this letter to Siko, their chieftain? It may be that he will openly declare an alliance with my people, which can only serve to strengthen our position in the North Downs. And that is out back, which we will run across him, and his people will certainly have several things for us to do as well. Alright, looks like I don't see anything else out here at the moment. Let's preface that. But I am pretty sure Halbarad would greatly like to see us at this point.
How can I be of service?
I suppose we can be thankful that we are no longer as ignorant of the enemy's plans as once we were. Yet the question of how we will face this threat looms over us all. The people of the North Downs must be called together for a council to deal with this threat. There is much to do, and much I will ask of you in the days ahead, if you are willing spirit. And at this point, here is the 3 parts of the book quest. As I told you, there are 3 of them. We will need the might of the dwarves of Othrakar if we are to face the threat of Angmar. The dwarves there are good Longbeards, but have been put to task by the Dourhands. When the Dourhands showed their true loyalty, the Longbeards drove them out of Othrakar. Yet they are still hard pressed by the Dourhands, and only recently has one of Durin's folk from Erebor, Dori, come to aid them. It will not be easy to convince them to lend their strength to the council, but you must try. Travel to Othrakar and speak with Dori. If you cannot find Dori for some reason, speak to a dwarf named Hanar. It is he who leads the Longbeards of Othrakar. So we've met Hanar before.
Would you do something for me?
To the south of Esteldin there stands a small refuge of the elves. Many long years have the elves dwelt there. However, in recent days, most of the elves left the glade. What is worse, I have heard that those few remained were slain by stone trolls from the north. It is an irony that Gildor Inglorian, an elf lord of Rivendell, was coming to give word of the enemy's movements, but arrived too late to save those who remained. He should be called to the council, but I fear that he will be too consumed by the desire to protect both the glade and his people from their rage. It will be your task to go to Lingalath and convince Gildor to come to the council. Okay, so we saw him. He was the one that was in that room.
Stay a moment.
Of all those that have suffered in the North Downs, it is perhaps the people of Trestlebridge who have suffered the most. They have stood firm against all Orc attacks, but their own numbers are dwindling. In fact, the mayor of the town, Lovell Boskins, was recently slain, and his daughter Nellie now leads the people there. I would ask you to go to Trestlebridge and speak with Nellie. We will need her leadership at the council. I will give you a word of warning. Although her people have the most to gain from coming, Nellie will be the hardest to convince. The constant attacks will block all thoughts of anything but dealing with the immediate threat. So now, here we have the 3 book quests. But we also have a whole bunch of other things we can do here. We have, a whole bunch of things we can do in here. Some of these, like the bounties, I probably, if I can do them off screen, I probably will. Others, we'll see. Because some of them, like I said, we'll get to do them as we do other quests and tasks. I don't know if anything else popped up after talking to him. There's our Runekeeper trainer. We used to have to come to this guy to acquire skills. When we leveled up, we don't anymore.
How can I be of
See, we
service?
would have come here and gotten our active and passive skills. Nowadays,
What can I do? What do you mean?
not so much. Thunder and flame. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I can get my books already. I had totally forgotten about that. Okay, so, written by a great scholar, this book contains, okay, that's one. So books used to be that we would do the books, and completing the books granted us a really special attacker skill. Nowadays, doing the books grants us skill points that we can put into our trait tree. Either way, we're going to go ahead and buy our book since we can. And Whispers in the Dark. There's 3 total. Now, where are we? Deed bestowed. And in order to start this, we need to talk to somebody in the last homely house. So let me figure that out real quick. And I'm going to pause for just a moment. And we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. And wow, I didn't realize we're already almost at an hour. And I did double check my books. I have to talk to none other than Elrond Half-elven. So while we're in Rivendell, I thought I'd come and say hi to Aragorn, who has multiple quests for us. Although we don't necessarily need to do any of these right now. This we can work on when we get into the Trollshaws. It is called The Troubles of Rivendell. And actually, I can't remember, but we will look at that one later. This one of Goladir and Angmar, and that leads us into Angmar, officially. We don't need that right now. But this is the one I was talking about that eventually leads us to Evendom, yes. I have borne this broken blade for many long years, always unused, for these are the shards of Norsel. Yes, Norsel, the sword wielded by Elendil of Westerness, in the battle before the Black Gate of Mordor, the sword that broke beneath him in battle with Sauron upon the slopes of Arodran. Though Gil-galad had fallen, and Elendil was slain, 2 still stood against the might of Sauron in the shadow of that fell tower. Isildur, the son of the king, and Elrond Half-elven, herald of Gil-galad. With a final effort, Isildur picked up the hilt shard of Norsel and cut the one ring from his finger, and the power of the Dark Lord was broken. The light of Norsel was extinguished, but its shards came again to the north, though Isildur himself never returned from the Gladden fields. The shards have been passed from father to son in his line for years beyond count, but the sword has never been remade. The old victories did not last, and the shadow has returned. We have need of Norsel's light once more. The blade must be reforged. Speak with Himmeldir at the forge here in Rivendell, in the northwest corner of the Vale, and tell him of my decision. I would have him know that Norsel is to be remade. So we're not going to work on that just yet, but we did want to get it because it looks like after we're done in North Downs, we may be headed to Evendom after all. But now, before we go, let's go say hello to Elrond Half-elven. And boy, did I butcher his name earlier. Blah, 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 blah. Words, I swear I know them. And this guy here, if we take his quest, we would be instantly ported to the last bridge, and we definitely don't want to do that. But perhaps once we start in the Trollshaws, we'll take it. He'll port us there, and we can do all the little quests from the last bridge in, which will actually be very helpful. Yeah, I mean, the more I get into the older areas again, and the more I convince, I look for all these quests to do, the more I realize just how many quests there are to do. And in fact, let's see, if we go, not here, we go to quest, we go and click on show completed. We have already completed 696 quests. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I talked to somebody who's actually a completionist, which is technically what I'm doing here. And one of his characters has completed a grand total of 9,700 quests. This doesn't include, or it does include taskboard, but taskboard only accounted for about 400 of his quests. And if a quest is repeatable, that repeatable quest only counts for the first time. So repeats don't count, which is good to know. Anyway, Elrond, we have come to see you. Now there is a ramp that goes down, but we're going to be lazy. We're just going to jump down here. Elrond,
Will you lend me your aid once more?
do you know what this is? Do you realize what terrible loss has been undone? No, you cannot, for you were not there. You did not know the glories of Beleriand, and cannot understand what was lost when it was sundered. So much knowledge, so much lore, gone forever. And yet here is a piece with what was lost, returning to us unlooked for. The Galu ol Maith. My people spoke of it with awe when I was young, and have mourned its loss ever since. We have learned much about the link between runes and combat, of course, but to have this book in my presence is the first time one hears the sweetness of a harp, or beholds the silver light of the moon. It wounds me to find so many of its leaves ruined by the passing of time, though it is no great surprise. Thousands of seasons have passed, and it is a wonder that it survives at all. Yet if one copy escaped Beleriand's doom, perhaps others did as well, if the lost pages were but recovered. But that, perhaps, is too much to hope. So the objective is to gather the lost pages, and it tells you which pages you're looking for. And each of these, in the name of Gil-galad can it be, the lost book of thunder and flame. Long have we thought it lost, when the darkness fell upon the Dwaradelf of old, now called Moria. Alas, that it is incomplete. To have found it after so many long years, but not to have the whole of its text is a grievous fate. The pages that contained its deepest mysteries are lost. Worry not, though. The archives of Eldar are the richer for having this book. But the full wisdom of Durin's folk, and the knowledge that was lost when they were driven from their homes, would be a treasure as great as the mithril they left behind. Thunder and Flame was apparently a dwarven rune casting. And again, it tells us what pages we need to find. And the final of the three is Whispers in the Dark. I have heard many tales of this book, though I scarcely believed them. It always struck me as unlikely that any man could attain mastery of rune lore in his short time upon the earth. Terrible that knowledge must have been, for the runes upon these leaves could not have been the work of a man with a sound mind. He tried to learn too quickly that which needs years to learn, and he paid the price. But there may still be much of value here, for it is not infrequent that the wisest of men can learn much from the fool. Would that it were complete, but its other half is surely gone. Rudar was a desolate place in the end, and no friend to lore and learning. Still, there is hope that the lost pages are out there still, waiting to be recovered, that they may join their brethren in this volume once more. So apparently Whispers in the Dark was rune learning by the Rudar, and it sounds like it might be a bit of a, what do you call it, chaotic rune. But still, as the others, we're told which pages we need to find. And now, he also has some books here, which again, this is the one that is going to be the epic for Trollshaws, which we won't take now. And this is...
Will you lend me your aid once more?
I think this is also for Angmar. Now, before we go, because we do have to go, it is past time, we'll look at this again. So it says, here we go. As you can see, it tells you you have 0 of 8, 0 of 8, 0 of 8, and if you hover over it, it says the first 4 pages of this book can be found on enemies scattered across Angmar, Aragion, and Moria. The last 4 pages of these books can be found on enemies scattered across Forest Shell, Moria, and the Misty Mountains. So, it's telling you exactly where you're going to kill enemies that you can find the pages at. And if you notice, both the first 4 and the last 4 pages can be found in Moria, but barring that, Angmar and Aragion, you can find the first 4. Forest Shell and the Misty Mountains, you can find the second 4. Well, I'll guarantee that we're probably going to find the majority of our pages by the time we hit Moria, because we're going to do Angmar. We're going to do all of Aragion. I know, Angmar is going to be a rough one, because I did say I was going to do all of something, but Angmar is a pretty tough customer, even if you're doing solo stuff. So we'll see about Angmar. Angmar may have to be the exception. But we will do some of the stuff in Angmar. We'll definitely do all of Aragion. Forest Shell, you almost never go to Forest Shell. So Misty Mountains is probably going to be it for the second half. We might go to Forest Shell at some point, but I doubt it's going to be before we're actually required to do it for the epic, which won't come for some time. Oh, the door is here. However, all the books say pretty much the same thing. Here's where you find the pages, and the pages are all located in the same areas. But now that we have gotten that, we are ready to start finding the pages of our books and get our class trait points from them to help improve our trait tree. Now, next time we are in game, we will be back in the North Downs and we'll work on doing some of those side quests before we finish up the epic. But until then, bye for now.